We are a strategy consulting group, and we also in the knowledge space, or corporate knowledge space, especially in the area of strategy.
The future of brands, and the question you're asking yourself is a carpet shifting beneath our feet. Obviously, maybe when we are having up or coming up with this particular program, our understanding was that we are all experts, or at least we have a very good understanding of what branding is all about. Or we have engaged ourselves, whether or not we've done branding or communications before, the kind of work we do, the kind of engagement we do, means that we have more than your primary level of understanding of what a brand is.
One time BMW had a problem because the way they say about their brand, the average age of the engineer in the company was too low for them to claim that. So they went recruiting for older engineers to increase that average, to be able to claim the excellence in engineering that they claim.
Within the publishing industry, you talk about KLB, people look up. And we pay corporation tax to government. We pay all the VAT on paper to government, successfully. Our turnover has gone to close to 2 billion.
If that's how you want your branding to be, then it's working. But if you want it to look like it's more of a commercial entity, then maybe it doesn't represent that.
If you were to stand there and say, I know a Kenyan institution that actually runs efficiently and makes profits and outcompetes the private sector. So what you're saying is really true. That now, how then do we position, communicate, and let the common man on the street know that indeed there's a government institution that does well.
The focus today, thanks Marvin for clarifying, is the future, right? So where do we go from here? Now, the wild and wacky world of social media, as you've seen, is a part of our everyday lives. Now the question of how we participate, how we take part, that's really up to us. At the end of the day, as long as you have an email address and a cell phone number, in many ways, there are bits and bytes of information being collected about you, and how much you choose to put on the internet as well is up to you, but it is what we've come to know now as social media, part of this world.
Different industries or different companies would use different social media strategies.
Yes.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to be on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter to create that top of mind awareness.
But you see, we are getting this from the CEO. Unfortunately, the average person will not have the opportunity.
The future of commerce will be very greatly shaped by brand in the next 10, 20, 30 years, but in a very different way than brand has shaped the last 50 years, for the simple reason that the future is moving too fast, and the brand as we know it is changing too fast. Our workshops are known for bringing together active participants in the space of brand. We bring individuals from different companies practicing, and they come and share the challenges. They come and share the opportunities. As a consulting firm, we will share a bit of insights, but mostly it's just to facilitate and make sure that the discussion from all these particular players shapes up the conversation going forward.
Basically today I came to learn about branding. You'll find that in Bungoma County we also do branding. But now coming to this session, I wanted to find out more about how I'm going to brand more, how I'm going to convince our customers in Bungoma County about our branding. So basically today has been an interactive session. I appreciate the fact that I've been here, I've learned a lot, and I'm going to incorporate whatever I've learned here today.
I think the session is very interactive. Different people that have different issues, they have different kind of brands. Some of them are doing business to business, business to consumer, or a combination of both. And I think they are learning from each other, which is a good thing. They are also getting to know about some things they are not doing that they should do.
The next frontier for marketing and branding is definitely online. I like the presenters. I like the fact that they had really practical advice.
I felt the session had an effect of broadening the mind, because one person always needs a secondary or third opinion to bring together your thoughts and to give a consolidated take on what is. I could have one meaning of Brand 2.0 before I came here today, but after hearing 2 more or 4 more perspectives, it has closed certain blind spots.
He is extraordinarily talented at getting a very diverse and interesting and interested group of people together to discuss whatever the topic of the day is. And I've been involved with topics of presentations and PowerPoint, with decision making, where he asked me to present a session, and now this one here on branding. And when one attends such days, it's a great opportunity to reflect, to take stock, to see where you are, and to have affirmed where you're doing all right, and to be provoked into doing things that you sort of knew maybe you should have a go at, but hadn't started doing so. And he says, why didn't you read the case study, which now you're referring to?
But the reason why they don't is this, because they know the mentality about leasing on the ground.
Means that leasing a big asset, it's mind-boggling for say a Kenyan. So, but you know, most of us don't have cows and we drink milk.
We have a continuous conversation. We keep on bringing in experts from different fields, and a lot of our series are normally defined from audience or our research and participation, the feedback we get from the audience. Our next 2 areas we are likely to deal with will be 1, sustainability. We also want to look at the area of corporate finance, and we are also in the next 2-3 months going to deal with the issue of Purple Ocean strategy. Purple Ocean strategy is specifically an area we are excited about. It's an area we're excited about because we're trying to create a mix between Blue Ocean strategy and Red Ocean strategy, and trying to give a practical roadmap for organizations in terms of how to implement both a Red Ocean strategy and a Blue Ocean strategy to achieve a Purple Ocean strategy. A Blue Ocean strategy basically is seeking new markets that were previously non-existent. A Red Ocean strategy is the ability of going into the existing market and fighting within the current market. And we find that organizations are increasingly forced to do both. They're increasingly forced to fight within the current markets as well as compete in new markets. And on that element, we have to get the particular proportion right. So purple is actually the primary color of red and blue mixed together. You get purple. And we're asking ourselves, what proportion of the organization should exist on looking at the current market? When should you decide that this particular market is mature? And when should you seek new markets altogether? How do you kill competition? Not by fighting them directly, but creating blue markets. But how do you, as well, as you're doing that, make sure that you are still fighting within the existing space? All those are the questions that we struggle in a lot of our strategy sessions, and we should be having the Purple Ocean strategy very soon.